Hey, welcome to the Optimized Retirement. My name is Brad Rhodes. You'll notice up here on the screen, I've got this pie chart. Uh, I refer to this pie chart as the Optimized Retirement. And when I talk about health and wealth and Social Security, really what I'm saying is I'm talking about protecting your health, securing your wealth, and then we're also going to talk a lot about Social Security week to week on all these different topics. It's my opinion that if you can get these components, kind of get them right, make sure you're doing things right in each of these three areas, man, it's going to go a long way in giving you a secure retirement, that worry-free retirement. And I realize it's much more fun to talk about your summer vacation or planning some trip. My wife and I this last summer celebrated our 30-year wedding anniversary. And we decided to go to Costa Rica. And yeah, we did go through a travel agent, but the couple months leading up to the trip, I mean, I did a lot of research. We did a half trip, a few days in Costa Rica. We spent uh, at this place near Arno Volcano. We went into rainforest. We got to see some sloths. It's hard for me to say that word. My wife always wanted to see some of those animals, so we went on a sloth tour. We did a lot of hiking, and I did a lot of research on that. And then the next half of the trip, we spent um, at an all-inclusive resort near the coast. And even though that was all-inclusive, it doesn't take a lot of planning. When you go to an all-inclusive resort, you're pretty much hanging out by the pool, drinking a few drinks every day. But we went on a jet ski excursion. That was really fun. So, that stuff, man, I get excited about that just like you do. But sometimes when it comes to talking about retirement, 401k rollovers, IRA distributions, Medicare, it's like, I don't want to talk about that stuff. But I got to tell you something. I'm going to encourage you to take this stuff serious. And another thing that I've started realizing when it comes to retirement, most of us spend all our lives as being very independent, self-sufficient. I mean, again, if we want to plan a trip to Costa Rica, go down to Florida, go to Europe, what do, man? We just book the flight, go through a travel agent, maybe go online or whatever to do that. We can make our own decisions on a lot of areas in our life. But I'm here to tell you something, and maybe a little bit of bad news, but it's kind of like a reality check. When you get into your retirement years, yeah, you're still going to be independent. I get that. But if you start to think about it, we're going to be reliant upon the government and some of these rules. So, take Medicare, for example. Most people, when they, if, and this is if they don't have insurance through their employer, most people, when they leave an employer, they lose that coverage. And so most people, when they turn 65, they get Medicare. That's a government program. A lot of changes all the time. It's gotten much more complicated over the years. Most people get a Medicare supplement or Medicare Advantage plan. If you need prescription coverage, you're going to be using what's called Medicare Part D. That's a Medicare program, and you're somewhat at the mercy of the rules around Medicare. You take Social Security. Well, that's your money you've paid into the system all these years, but you're going to be reliant upon, again, the government to kind of dictate what you're going to be drawing every month. Um, Same with if you've got a lot of my people, folks I talked to over the years, a lot of people have these 401ks, 403b plans. They need somewhere to roll that over to into like an IRA account. And then when you hit a certain age, guess what? The government is going to tell you, hey, at a certain age, you're going to have to start drawing out of that IRA. We're going to tell you how much you have to draw out. It's also going to be subject to tax in most cases. Now, we're going to talk about Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, IRA distributions, but you are going to be subject to kind of what the government tells you. So all that being said, one last little point in this introductory video I want to make. We're entering into something that's called Peak 65. I would encourage you to look that up. What Peak 65 is talking about is this year, and as of this video, this is 2024, this year, and this is a staggering number to hear, and you've probably heard this before, maybe you hadn't. Do you know how many people turn 65 years of age every single day in this country? Well, for the last 4 or 5 years, that number has been 10,000 people every single day that turn 65 in the United States. Starting this year in 2024, that number is getting bumped up. It's a little over 11,000 a day, 11,200, and they say that here in a few years, that number is going to be 12,000 people every day turning 65. Why do I tell that to you? Well, it's been documented that the Social Security offices, and Social Security handles a lot. They not only handle Social Security, but they also actually help people sign up for Medicare. And just my little experience here in the last couple of years, I sign up a lot of people online on Medicare. That's kind of the first step to get on Medicare and get one of these Medicare Supplement or Medicare Advantage plans. You got to sign up for Medicare. I have been running into a lot more issues every day getting people on Medicare. There's a lot more delays. There's certain things you cannot do anymore. Signing up for Medicare is handled through the Social Security offices, but they're not allowing people to come to those offices anymore and sign up for Medicare. They've eliminated one of the ways. I'm getting a little deep into the subject here. All I'm saying is I feel like I'm going to be able to give you some value, some good content in my little show here. If you would, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be giving you more and more information every single week. We're going to start out very basic. When it comes to Medicare, Social Security, we're also going to talk about, sometimes people call it the elephant in the room, long-term care, what happens when I get a little bit older maybe and something happens where I need more care, either at home or a nursing home. We're going to talk about that. But we're also going to answer some questions about IRA distributions. The Secure Act passed in Washington some years back. They keep making changes to it, and it's really affecting people, how they take a distribution out of that IRA these days. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a lot of frequently asked questions, and I bet you some of these questions you've asked. I'm hopefully going to serve as somewhat of a guide to bring you this information. I feel like more and more you're going to be needing somebody giving you some resources to help you through this somewhat of a transition into retirement. And that's what this channel is about. I'm kind of rambling a little further than I wanted to, but again, my name is Brad Rhodes. This is the Optimized Retirement. In my opinion is, if you can get some of these key components into your retirement, get them situated correctly, it's going to be like a breath of fresh air in your retirement years. Again, we'll be talking to you in future videos. We'll see you in the next show. Have a good rest of the day. Take care.